My name is Heath Riles. For everybody that does everybody know who I am? No? I'm no one. I wear Hanes and Levi's. That's it. Look, we're going to teach y'all how to cook a simple backyard steak today, but with amped up championship flavors is how I like to say it. Nothing we do is hard. I don't want anybody to ever think that. Cooking should be simple, so everybody has their own unique touch they can do to any dish that they decide to cook. When I do videos and I do recipes and I do demos, I tell anybody, you don't have to use my seasonings. Use what you like, use what you have at home, use anything that you like flavor-wise. I'm going to start off today with a good Tomahawk ribeye that we've got. So does everybody know, like, can anybody tell me the difference between these two steaks here? Alright, so I'm going to explain this a little bit. This right here is what I call a unicorn steak. This is going to be your try-hard steak. It's got nice spinalis running around here. It's got a small eye of the ribeye in it. You know, real tender. This is going to be one of the most flavorful, tender cuts of beef you can get. Now, when you go on down the cage here, cutting ribeyes, you see how the spinalis gets really small? I typically don't buy these steaks like this. I look for these big try-hards like this, more marbled up. There's nothing wrong with this steak, but me being a competition guy, I just like the big try-hard steaks is what I like to call them. It's the most tender muscles. It's up near the chuck end, all that. This is kind of, I'm going to say 8th, 9th cut down the rib bone, something like that, 7th. You can kind of tell how it starts fading out up in there. So I'm going to keep these really simple today. All I'm doing, I'm going to use a little bit of my everyday rub and a little bit of my Cajun Creole garlic butter. I'm going to start by searing this steak out first, and I'm going to move it over to the cool side and let it come on up to about 128 degrees is what I like to pull my steak at. It's going to be good, without a doubt. Now this one right here just come off and we added hot butter on. Look at that. It smells good if nothing else. I'm not going to guarantee it tastes good, but it does smell good. Now this steak here has been resting for about 8 to 10 minutes. All right, we just wrapped up with a steak demo here at the Royal Oak Pavilion out here. You can see the scenery is beautiful standing around here. Now we're getting ready for my good buddy Malcolm to make one of his signature cocktails. It's time to have one. Let's watch him as he makes it.
Famous Killer Hogs Bullfrog, and it's not hard. I promise you, anybody can drink it. I learned this when I was in college. So.
Y'all got a longer straw?
That's all we got.
Well, I mean, I was going to like get the rest of that jug there. You said it was good. Oh, it's definitely going to make me hop my ass in the bed when I'm done with that. That's Big Red and Jack Fire?
Yep.
Write that down in your notebook. That is really good. So you just mix it 50-50?
Yeah.
All right, turn-in time is just minutes away. Let's get in. We're going to try to follow certain teams during certain turn-ins. We're going to start off with Wolf Revenge and a little bit of chicken. Let's go.
20 minutes, 15 minutes before the window opens, step number 1, chickens actually come out and had a chance to rest just a little bit. The idea is to touch it as little as possible so we have to do less touch-up later. Then they're going to go back in the smoker for 3 minutes to dry. Otherwise, when we go to sauce them, if they're wet, the sauce is going to get runny and you're going to have light and dark spots. Somebody told me a long time ago that sauce hides a lot of sins. So, all right. I always start from the back and work to the front.
So Charles, now are you going back in the cooker to set a little smoke on them?
I've got a two-step process I'm getting ready to do. First, I'm going to put them in the big smoker for 2 minutes to set the sauce all the way around. And we're also going to throw some wood chips in there to give it a little bit of dirty smoke. Because I cook these things covered for the last half of the cook, they don't have a lot of smoke flavor on them. And I think judges know that they want, the judges I talk to, they tell me that they want to taste smoke on the chicken. They don't want just baked chicken. So we're going to throw smoke for 2 minutes, and then we're going to go into our grill, and we're going to put some serious heat on the bottom, caramelize that sauce, and give us what we call that backyard flavor.
That little bit of char.
That little bit of char. And then we're going to take it down to the Oklahoma Joe's Rambler, where we are going to hit it with some serious heat, and we're going to use just our smell to tell when it's time to take them off. You put them on, you're going to hear them sizzle. It smells wonderful, and then all of a sudden it starts to go from smelling like you want to jump in there to it doesn't smell so good anymore. Once it starts going from caramelizing to burning, we want to pull it right then, bring it inside, and we'll box it. This is going to be this one.
I think that one, or the one you had your hand on, is going to be your clear choice, one of those two.
That one's my choice.
Because these look a little smaller than those.
Yeah. So, okay. Now I've set them, I have their sauce there, and I got my finishing dust in there. Now we're going to build and we're going to touch up. Window opens in about 45 seconds.
All right, we need a donor.
Now we're going to take the donor. I like to use one that's got the same consistency. It's got the same flavor, the same prep. And we're going to go through and we are going to touch up all the spots, like where there's juices dripping out from where I poked them with the corn cob holders. Wish I could remember the guy that taught me that trick. Heath somebody, I don't know. Hit the inside of the lid of the box. When they open it up, they're going to think it's been steaming in there. It is.
Why do you use apple juice? Are you using water or apple juice?
Water. I've used apple juice before. I'll go back and forth between the two. Inside here in our carry box, we've got dish rags that are wet, that are hot, that we've put in the pan and let them heat up. That way our box is preheated, doing everything we can to make sure those judges get the hottest chicken we can possibly give them. This is what one that did not make the box looks like, okay? I'd still turn that one in all day long. Okay, so now that it's hit that, go ahead and it's going to be hot.
Look at that. That's a different level. Different level. All right, we're in here with Jeff and Derek with Chicken and Grinning. They're going to walk us through their World Championship ribs. Now, Jeff is really unique. He don't even sell a product yet, is the key word here. And how many World Championships have you won?
6.
6. My man right here, straight out of Minnesota. Let's watch how it's done.
We're just clearing the ribs now. They've been resting. Derek's the man on this. You know, this simple tip, put a bag in the bucket. You don't have to clean the bucket.
That's right.
I don't have to clean the bucket. Yeah. Grab another half pan then too, Derek. Whew. Decisions. Everything's just a tad. These are the tightest. I'm gonna have to mix and match. He's got the best feel to him. Exhaust. What are we gonna do for tops and bottoms here? We'll try to pick out our box already. These have a better feel.
Well, put the better feel in.
These are prettier, but I'll give up an appearance every time over a tenderness score or taste. So these are gonna go on the bottom. These are gonna go on top. These are a little darker.
All right, let's give one a try.
Did we get the bite? Yeah, we did get the bite. That one's pretty skinny.
That was skinny, but
You get what they brought us, you know. You cook what you get. That's
Well-
the pit master.
I'm gonna be honest. I've cooked a lot of slabs of ribs. The sweetness from a little bit of agave and your sauce mixture you use in there, and that finishing does has a really good pop, really good smooth finish. Not nothing too much. I really like the flavor profile.
Middle of the road. You don't.
Middle of the road.
Yeah, you don't want to give them too much. You know, one of the big
Really
things.
good.
You got used the sous vide. Go right back in the bath, so we're warm. You know, we're pretty compact here, but the nice part is I never leave this side of the table. He does run out. He's the grabber. He's the stuff. I would leave it here and there, but during turn-ins and stuff, and we work really well together. You know, he knows what his job is. I know mine, and I got everything I need right here.
Perfect.
And as you can see, we run very limited. Probably, what are we, 8 dishes?
Yeah, 9.
8 or 9 dishes is it. You know, like all that turn-in, we'll wash this and a brush. The knife, but otherwise we didn't.
Separator and
Well, the separate, yeah, that's for the going to be for pork and for a brisket. But yeah, we'll get this cleaned up, and we'll move to the next steps.
You spritz some with apple juice.
Yeah, just apple juice. So those I want us to shine.
Beautiful box.
Those are holding together really well. But these are a little bit darker than I usually like to. But it all works. There's a rib turn in.
And that is a good looking rib box. 100% approved.
We usually like to go 5 on 5. I think, you know, nothing sexier than a full box of meat. But with today, so we ended up cooking a little bit. Usually we cook 4 racks. They gave us 3. And out of that, everything gets called out of, you know, that. Normally we're hand picking. And I didn't get a hand pick what I want to bring. But that just puts everybody else, makes everybody work a little bit harder.
So those ribs were they about 2.5 pounds a slab?
Yeah,
Maybe.
they
What
were.
do you normally try to cook? About 3.5 to 4?
No, 3 to 3.25.
3/4.
Once in a while, you know, the guys, the problem, they want big, thick ribs. You got that much room for air. You know, if you have a thinner rib and they're taking a good bite, you took a thin rib because that's all we had, but it bit good. If it was thick, there's that much more room for air.
I guess that's another good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
You got to always hit the right table is what I tell everybody. Your food's going to be good. I hear a lot of teams are, you know, at that level.
Yeah.
And you know you got to nail your tenderness and you got to get lucky and hit the right table.
So tables have been a big deal and a bigger deal. And then this year, with comps and losing some guys, I've had a lot of 4 contest tables. And my last 4 contest tables is we've won 3 out of the 4 and reserved the other one because I want to go head to head with these guys.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want, you know, because it's always that table of death that takes everybody out if you hit it. Now there's an angel table too. We talked about that. But everybody likes to talk about table of death. Nobody likes to talk about they were just that good. That's why I got a high score.
Well, you know, if it's only 4 tables, that means everybody's going to hit that table of death and everybody's going to hit that angel table if the judge has done their job right on the seating.
And that is why I like 4 table contests.
All right, now we're over here with Drew Davis with Razor Racks Barbecue. We're going to follow Drew and he's going to show us how he does his pork box. He just turned in ribs. And Drew is known for honestly just cooking very minimal. He does not carry a lot of stuff with him. He's also the first team that I know of to cook a full contest on 1 drum and win it. And so to me, that's pretty incredible. So
Legend still holds true today. Kind of shocked that it's still being talked about, but I brought 3 with me this weekend, so hopefully that turns out same result.
So have you went all typical now and started doing all money muscle?
I have not. So when I'm cooking on a Jambo or on these drums, I may debone with the drums just for the space, but when I'm on my offset, I'm still at least cooking 2 full butts and then maybe 2 deboned butts or a pork collar, or my version of a pork collar from there. I'm from the Memphis area like Heath. I think pulled pork's still important in those boxes. I still try to put pulled pork in there. I'm going to try to do that today if it's good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I always like a little bit of pulled pork in my box. You know, a lot of people are just using all money muscle and cubing them up now and then putting sliced money muscle too. And I don't feel like it's, I don't know, really paying homage, I guess, to the pork. I don't know.
I mean, I don't hate anyone for doing it, but it is, in my opinion, a little less skilled. There's less to do there. Kind of the same thought process with burn-ins with brisket. There's part of me that I haven't been cooking great burn-ins recently. There's part of me that thinks that would help separate the gap per se, and someone that can cook a whole flat, or just a flat, and someone that can nail a burn-in. So all I'm going to do is take my fillet knife and right down the edge of that money muscle. I'm going to reach in. I may trim it up just a little bit more here in just a minute.
Shape it up around a bit.
Yep. Do the same thing with this one.
So Drew, what do you carry in your money muscle too?
It varies. Honestly, it varies. I try my best not to look at the temperature. I've pulled money muscle at 200 and I pulled it at 208 as it's on the field. And when I'm cooking on different cookers, that helps me stay in the ballpark better as opposed to trying to hit that exact temperature. Same way with ribs too.
I use temperature as a baseline only. You got to go by that feel, and I tell everybody you can't teach that feel.
Yeah.
It's something that's going to come over time.
And so I can tell by feel, like this one feels like it's perfect. This one I'm not sure about. So I may have to.
So do you feel like leaving them attached to the whole butt helps render those fat veins and everything more in it, and the money muscles seem to stay together better than instead of separating and cooking it separate?
I've tried separating in the past. It's just more of my process, so I'm going to try to get some bacon here later. And by leaving them together, leaving the bacon together, I know when that money muscle's done, that bacon should be perfect. If it's over a little bit, then my tubes are going to be pretty close. So it's more of a process thing than I think one's better than the other. I know a lot of good cooks that they cook, that's our pork sauce. They separate and do very well. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to do this sport that we like.
No doubt.
So we should have plenty of pulled.
That looks real good.
Yeah. I'm gonna set this aside with that, clean up my space. I've got a couple pieces of foil already kind of tore off and ready. Drape this down. So I'm outside. I got to be aware of this cooling off. I don't think this needs to cook anymore, but I'm going to put it on the smoker really just to keep it warm. I'm just going to tuck it in. Like I said, this does not need to cook any, so I'm going to be very wary of how long I leave it on here. Sauce is kind of tacked up on these money muscles. I'm gonna let them sit for at least a minute before I cut into them. So we're still well ahead of the window.
So I see you looking at your watch there. Do you keep your timeline and verified an alarm set on your Apple Watch? You schedule it to go off?
So here in about 6.5 minutes, you'll hear my alarm go off. That's when the window's open. I have a alarm that went off at 12:35 to tell me to slice the money muscle. That way, if I turn ribs in early and I'm sitting waiting, I don't let time get away from me. Pork's the hardest box to create. It takes the longest time, so I've got to make sure I stay on time, especially when I'm by myself.
That's a great looking pork box.
That's the box, guys.
There it is, championship pork, Razor Rack Barbecue. All right, we're here at Brian Corbett's Smoking Scully's. Now we're going to be here for brisket turn-in. You can see he's grabbing his point now, pulling it out. checking to see if his burnt ends are gonna make the box. And then he'll
juicy.
get into that flat.
I like the way that cut. I'm gonna go right to the heart of this thing. It's cutting good.
Looks like Jello.
Feels like Jello. Some people make their burnt ends to be all identical. I kind of like the burnt end to be have a little character on its own. You know what I mean?
So do you pile yours up or do you put them in a straight row?
I've done them both ways. It just depends on what if I turn them in, it depends on what I feel like. These actually feel pretty daggone good, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm gonna put them in the box yet because I didn't eat one, but they feel good.
It totally dissolves.
I put my brisket au jus and cherry Coca-Cola in that wrap.
Cherry Coca-Cola?
Yeah. I didn't bring enough au jus to do the point. I didn't even think about it. And so I was like, well, hell, I gotta add some volume somewhere. And I had a cherry Coke unopened over here. And I said, well, she gonna run. That ain't bad, though.
No, I think you'd even go a little thicker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go thicker on the next one. I just want to slice one.
Well, you got the pull. And it's definitely got the taste. That's a good beefy piece of meat.
I love
It's
to
not
turn
overpowering.
Love to turn in beefy brisket's what I like. Let's get right here. I like to hold them as flat as I can because I don't hold all that au jus on there.
I'm gonna start lining that box with wet napkins, man.
Well, I know. But here, you know the step of that you got to do? Remember it. And I remember it right about now.
Well, that's what I call a good looking brisket box right there.
That right there is a Smoking Scully's brisket box. Full of Heath Riles.
With rounded edges.
With rounded edges. I got to give you props on it because I was beating the dock them sure enough.
Good luck, brother.
Thank you.
You got a really
very
good
much.
brisket.
I want this one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really good. All right, as you can see, we followed 4 teams through turn-ins. We tried some really good products. Awards are gonna be in a few hours. I can tell you, everything we tried tasted phenomenal. So now it's all in the judges' hands. Let's see who's gonna win this thing.
All right, we'll start out with chicken. That's what we like to start out with. Number 1 in chicken, Wolf's Ribeye Barbecue. All right, we're at the number 1 position in the pork rib category, and this is a perfect 180 score. Rusty, y'all got a pen for him? All right, he's over there with it. All right, LC Barbecue. All right, we're at number 1, and this is, of course, also a perfect 180. Bring your pops up here, damn fine people. All right, number 1 in our brisket category is a perfect 180.
Nice.
That's had to be a real good brisket, I can tell you that. And that brisket was cooked by Rum Runners. This is our reserve grand champion, Rooters and Tooters. Man, everybody's kind of like, oh, who's got this? Who's got this? This is all over the place. This is kind of crazy. All right, everybody ready? We ready, Jim? Yeah, ready. All right, we're ready. The 2023 Royal Oak Invitational Grand Champion is Razor Racks Barbecue.
All right, we're out here. The awards are over, and you can see that the Reserve Grand Champion is Rooters and Tooters. Woo! And of course, Razor Racks is your Grand Champion out of Arkansas one-man band. Drew has been on a tear lately. We were lucky enough to catch his pork turn in today. It was great. It was the second place today, and it deserved every bit of it, if not more. That's a wrap here at Royal Oak. We had a great time. Congrats again to the winners.